How to analyze your CloudWatch logs with AWS's Elasticsearch service. Elasticsearch is an open-source search engine. It's commonly used in conjunction with log aggregation to make analyzing server logs easy. AWS offers it as a managed service along with Kibana, a visualization dashboard for Elasticsearch. Everything in Linux is logged. System actions are logged to log syslog. And most applications create log files. Most notably, web servers create log entries for every request, making log analytics a very powerful tool. Nginx logs a bunch of info for every request, including, for example, if you wanted to know which pages on your site are the most error-prone, you can perform a search by error code and then check what the top pages for each code are. This isn't really feasible to do manually, especially if you've got a lot of web servers. Elasticsearch solves this issue by enabling you to perform complex queries on aggregated log files. Kibana is a visualization dashboard and serves as a front-end for AWS provides both of these as one managed service with AWS Elasticsearch service. You are required to pay for the server that Elasticsearch runs on, though you are only charged a slight premium over standard EC2 rates. If you're just doing analysis every once in a while, you don't have to run this server all the time. However, if you are running it all the time, you can purchase reserved instances to lower the price. To make this all work, you need to get your log files out of your EC2 instance and into CloudWatch. AWS makes this easy with the CloudWatch Logs agent. You should read our guide on setting it up before proceeding with Elasticsearch. If you just run a web server or two, you probably don't need an entire service just for looking at your logs. CloudWatch Logs itself has great built-in search tools from the Insights tab and can perform some simple visualizations. But if you've got numerous servers and a lot of data to analyze, you may benefit from Elasticsearch and Kibana. Head over to the Elasticsearch console and create a new domain. An S-domain is a cluster of servers that operate as one search engine. The setup is fairly simple. Give it a name and specify which instance you want to run. The default is R5 large, but you should probably set up a T2 small instance first to try it out. Give it a disk size adequate enough to store your logs. The default is 10 GB and click create. New domains take around 10 minutes to initialize, so grab a cup of coffee and come back in a bit. Once it's set up, head over to the CloudWatch console and select your log group. Under the Actions button, choose Stream to Amazon Elasticsearch service. Select the S-domain you just set up, and then create a new IAM role for the Lambda function that does the streaming to operate. The policy should be pre-configured, but if it isn't, it needs access to Elasticsearch. Click Next, and you'll be asked to specify the format. You can enter a custom format here, or choose Common Log Format, the default for most web server logs. Click through the setup and start the log streaming. You should see logs being ingested within a few seconds. Head over to your Kibana instance. The endpoint URL is found in the Domain Info panel. And create the initial index. An all-new log info stream to the Elasticsearch cluster appears, which you can browse through your logs in the Discover tab. From here, everything is configured, and you're free to use Kibana how you'd like. Under the Visualize tab, options for creating and configuring graphs can be found, which you can organize into dashboards. Elasticsearch and Kibana do take quite a bit of processing power, especially when working with huge datasets and complicated queries. Itself can be configured to log its own queries to CloudWatch. Under the Logs tab, which is useful for seeing which queries take the longest to process and whether or not you need a bigger instance. Text source, cloudsavvy.com.